All right, let's talk about intermittent fasting. You've definitely heard of it, right? It's all over the internet, and maybe you even know someone who swears by it. It's one of the biggest trends in health, but honestly, it's also one of the most misunderstood. So today, we're going to clear the air, break down what it really is, how it's supposed to work, and what the science actually says.
Think about it. Have you ever just gotten so tired of tracking every single morsel of food you eat? So many diets turn you into a human calculator, and it can be completely exhausting. But what if there was a simpler way to approach all this? And that's where intermittent fasting, or IF for short, really comes into the picture. At its core, it's pretty simple. It's an eating pattern that shifts the focus away from the food itself and puts it on the clock. So instead of making a long list of forbidden foods, it just asks you to eat within a certain window of time.
So, what does that actually look like in the real world? Let's dive into the most common and, more importantly, the most well-researched ways people practice intermittent fasting.
Okay, so when we talk about IF, it really boils down to three main types. You've got alternate day fasting, what's known as the 5-2 diet, and time-restricted eating. They might sound complicated, but they're actually pretty straightforward. Let's break them down one by one.
First up is alternate day fasting, or ADF. And you know what? It's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. One day is a fast day where you eat only about a quarter of your normal calories. We're talking around 500. Then the next day is a feast day where you just eat normally, no major restrictions, and you just alternate back and forth.
Now, if fasting every other day sounds a little intense, there's the 5-2 diet. It takes that same basic idea of a fast day, but stretches it out over a whole week. So here's how 5-2 works. For 5 days of the week, you just eat normally, no big deal. But for 2 other days, you cut your intake way back to somewhere between 500 and 1,000 calories. And what's great is you've got flexibility. Those 2 fast days don't even have to be back-to-back. You can schedule them however it works for you. And that brings us to what is probably the most popular method of all, time-restricted eating, or TRE. This one is a daily habit. You just pick an eating window, say 8 hours, maybe from noon to 8 p.m. You fit all your meals into that window, and then you fast for the other 16 hours of the day. A lot of people find this one the easiest to stick with long-term.
Okay, so we've got the methods down. But that leads to the million-dollar question, right? Does putting your diet on a clock actually do anything? Does it work? Let's see what the science has to say.
Well, the data is pretty clear. For weight loss, the short answer is yes, it does work. Studies that run for about 8 to 12 weeks show that those more intense methods, like alternate day fasting and the 5-2 diet, can lead to a pretty significant 4 to 8% loss in body weight. The more popular time-restricted eating gives more modest results, usually a 3 to 4% loss, probably because the calorie cut isn't as dramatic. But, and this is a huge but, here's the most important thing researchers found, and it might actually surprise you. When they put intermittent fasting head-to-head with a traditional diet, just eating a little bit less every day, there was no real difference. People lost about the same amount of weight either way. So what does that tell us? It means there isn't some kind of metabolic magic happening just because of the timing. Intermittent fasting seems to work because it's a really effective psychological tool. By just limiting the hours you're allowed to eat, you naturally end up eating less overall, somewhere around 10 to 30% fewer calories, often without even trying to count them. All right, so if IF is really just a clever way to help you eat less, what does that mean for your day-to-day life? What can you actually eat and drink? Let's get practical. This is super important. Your eating window isn't a free-for-all. It's not a license to just eat junk food for 8 hours straight. You still want to fill that time with balanced, healthy meals. You can see from these examples here, you're looking at good sources of protein, carbs, and veggies. Things like paneer bhurji, dal, grilled chicken, or fish. Now for the big question everyone always asks. What about the fasting window? What can you drink? Well, staying hydrated is everything. Water is a given, of course. But you can also have things like herbal tea and black coffee. The simple rule is this. If it has calories, it'll break your fast. So that means no sugar, no milk, no cream in that coffee. So to be crystal clear, that means a few things are definitely off the table during your fast. Think fruit juices, which are packed with sugar, anything with milk or cream, sodas, yep, even diet sodas, and alcohol. All of those contain energy sources that will kick your body out of a fasted state.
So we've gone through the what, the how, and the why. Let's pull this all together and figure out what the final verdict is on intermittent fasting.
If you're going to remember just a few things, make it these. First, yes, it does lead to some modest weight loss. Second, that weight loss is pretty much the same as you'd get from a standard calorie-cutting diet. Third, for most healthy people, it seems to be perfectly safe. And finally, there's some evidence it might help improve things like blood pressure and cholesterol.
You know, I think this quote from a leading researcher, Christopher Marathi, just hits the nail on the head. The biggest selling point of intermittent fasting isn't some crazy metabolic secret, it's just that it's simple. Instead of obsessing over every calorie, all you have to do is watch the clock.
And that really leaves us with something to think about. As we're all looking for ways to manage our health that feel a little less stressful, maybe the answer isn't a new list of good and bad foods. Maybe it's just a new way of looking at time. What do you think?